Greetings, everybody. Good to see you in the middle of the week. I know some of you are missing your church building, coming together for worship. So I just have a couple things to share with you. One story and one thought to carry forward. And the story is this. Back in 1956, there was a church in Lansing, Michigan that began, and they started by worshiping in a public school building. When they were able, they built classrooms and a gymnasium so that they could have a school, and the church people would worship in that gymnasium on Sunday mornings. Or when I got a little bit older and as a child, I remember Saturday nights helping set up the chairs, and Sunday after worship, tearing them back down. In 1968, built a sanctuary, and it was a nice sanctuary. Ceramic floors, the ones with the grout in between, little hexagon tiles. I still remember those, and beautiful wood beams and wooden roof, and it was a beautiful church. We seated 900 people, and on Christmas we'd open up the fellowship room and the overflow room, we called it, and set up chairs. We had like 1,000 or 1,100 people, and it was a good building. About 15 years ago, the pastors in prayer helped lead the congregation, and the congregation decided to leave that building and move 6 miles away and build a new campus for the school and the church. And some people came to my father, because my father had been the pastor that was there when that church was built and through many years of ministry there. And some people came to him and said, "Aren't you going to tell those young pastors that you can't move?" And I remember asking him, I said, "So how did you respond to them?" And he said, "It's just a building." And I thought to myself, it's just a building. You're the guy that led the congregation to go in that direction and took a lot of heat for it. I remember that. Some guy even tried to get people to come together to get him thrown out, and there's pictures of him carrying the mortar, the bricklayers, and down on his knees helping set tiles. And I remember as a little kid, helping the bricklayers. I don't know if I was so much help to them, and helping the carpenter. I got to drop the nails in the hole that he drilled, and then those timbers go up to the roof. And there was a lot of emotional investment in that building for him and for me, and for him to say, it's just a building. It's been a tool for us to use in ministry, and we thank God that we had it, but if it's time to move on, it's time to move on. That always stuck with me. And then last night, we were watching an episode of The Chosen. If you haven't seen The Chosen, you gotta watch it. I love it. And it was an episode where Jesus was traveling through Samaria. He comes to the well. You maybe remember the story as I started saying it, and asks the woman to draw him some water, and he tells her, if you knew who I was, you would have asked me to draw water, and I'd have given you living water. And so she perceives that he's a prophet, and then this is her question. She says to him, look, our fathers worship on this mountain up in Samaria, but you say that we worship in Jerusalem. And he said to her, the time is coming and is now here when people will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. In other words, he's saying it's not going to matter whether you're on this mountain or in Jerusalem. What God is looking for is what's in here. And so today, I urge you, I know you're missing your church, and we all want to come back, and eventually that will probably happen. But in the meantime, in these days that we're in, no matter where you're at, whether you're in your workshop or you're outside or walking down a trail or in your home, make that a place where worship of the Father is in spirit and truth. And so just ask yourself the question, am I making my home? Whether you live by yourself, whether with your husband or wife, whether you have kids, or who knows, even more extended family and friends living with you. Is this a place where we worship the Father in spirit and in truth? And how can I make this home that place? You do that for now, and when we have a chance, we'll come back together and worship in a building that so many of us love and appreciate. Till then, you all be blessed, and we will see you on Sunday.